Hello everyone, how are you? Welcome back to MALIBU College. Let's continue the next meeting of 1.03 million yen threshold. Let's break it down and take a look at what's behind. So, casting a vote is a special vote which usually used to break a tie. In meetings, parliament, Congress, or committees, or whatever, if there's an equal number of votes for and against a decision, the chairman, namely the person leading the meeting, has the right to cast the extra deciding vote. That's called casting vote. Let's say regular members put a vote, and if it is a tie, the chairman uses the casting vote to decide the outcomes. For example, 10 people vote and 5 out of 10 in favor, but the other 5 against, then the chairman makes the final decisions. Generally speaking, if a spouse makes an annual income at over 1.03 million yen, you start paying income tax by all means. Originally, the 1.03 million yen threshold comes from the income limit where a dependent like a spouse or a child can still be counted as tax dependent for income tax purposes. If you earn more than 1.03 million yen a year, generally, you lose dependent deductions, as I mentioned in the previous video. So please catch up with it if you haven't watched it yet. But recently, however, 1.03 million yen threshold is being raised because of inflation, wage growth, and governmental policies. So those are the main outlines why this is happening. From economic perspectives, inflation is pushing up the prices. All stuffs are getting so expensive. So people's nominal income needs to be higher just to maintain the same standard of living, right? Yeah. Also, wage growth is finally happening in Japan after decades of stagnations. Governmental policy to encourage more people, such as part-time student, household wives, to work longer hours without losing tax benefits. Especially from 2025, they are adjusting a certain tax system to raise threshold like 1.03 million rules to something like 1.78 million Japanese yen proposed by the National Democratic Parties. Quite soon enough, if they raise the limit to adapt to economic changes and promote more labor participants, they are expected for tax deductions. I just said that up to 1.78 million is raised, but it might be raised in the future from 1.03 to 1.78 millions. It's a huge number. So I'm talking about the hypothesis. Okay. The proposal to raise Japan's income tax exemption threshold from 1.03 to 1.78 million yen has been a significant topic in recent tax reform discussions. This initiative is primarily driven by the opposition Democratic Party because this current threshold has been unchanged since 1995. Over 30 years, folks. Over 30 years, it hasn't changed anything. It no longer reflects the reality of modern living costs and wage levels. Why do we need to push for 1.78 million Japanese yen? The existing threshold discourages part-time workers, students, homemakers from increasing work hours because of the risk of losing tax exemption and its associated deductions. So what the government does is that they aim to align with economic changes, like trying to make a balance in minimum wages and inflation over the past decades, and allowing part-time workers to earn more money without immediate tax penalty and avoid labor shortages, of course. So the increase of income tax threshold based on increased rate of minimum wages since 1995. If you listen to me well here, this tax system reform to adapt to the Japan's economic performance and the labor market conditions sounds very, very, very nice to you. But to the government, it means they lose a certain amount of tax revenue, right? You have to understand this. If you lose, the government wins. If the government loses, you win. Do you think it works forever? In case the government raised up to 1.78 million yen income tax threshold, it would result in an estimated annual tax revenue loss of, let's say, 7 to 8 trillion yen. Oh my God, physical impact is too huge. What's going on with that? This substantial decrease in revenue would affect both national and local governments. I found a local newspaper saying that Yokohama City anticipates the potential revenue shortfall of around 120 billion yen, which constitutes about 13% of its budget allocated to essential services like child care, welfare, and education. So chaos situation is inevitable, right? We can't avoid that. That is a huge number. So 7 or 8 trillion yen revenue loss is a big money loss. Of course, the government is not happy for that. For the suggestion. So what the Jiminto proposed is that we can have a second thought about the increased rate of price, okay, instead of minimum wage since 1995. They have another proposal to be concerned about the overall price increase rate with the best indicator to decide how much income tax exemption should be raised. So personally, I guess 10% is realistic. I mean, 10% makes sense to me. So from 1.03 million to 1.13 million yen threshold, I think it will be quite understandable. Okay, so let's stop here. I'll talk about that in the next chapter. I'll see you around. Hey, thanks for watching my YouTube channel. If you find my video useful, please don't forget to subscribe for more updates. I really wish you to stay tuned and stay connected to my community. It's all free, and if you put a comment down below, I reply you back ASAP. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next session.